Nope. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Welcome to our Mercy Volunteer Corps webinar. We are live from Queens, New York with our New York volunteers, or some of them at least, and they're here to share a bit about their experience and what drew them to a year of service in Mercy Volunteer Corps and what they're doing so far this year. So I'm going to get out of the way and let them introduce themselves, and then we'll go from there.
All right, I'm Caitlin. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I serve at Mercy First. It's a foster care agency in Brooklyn.
I'm Nicole. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I also serve at Mercy First Foster Care Agency.
And hi, my name is Joe Luge. I am from Sacramento, California, and I serve in Mercy Center, which is a community center in South Bronx.
All right, thanks for joining us. I guess the first question is, what made you want to do a year of service? What drove you to do that? Anyone?
Well, let's see. I had graduated from college. I'd been out of college for a year, and then I was kind of just trying to figure out my next step. Didn't really know what I wanted to do in terms of a job, but I had things that I was interested in, like working with teens. And at the foster care agency, we're working in the development department, so that's with the 14 to 21-year-olds. And so I don't know, I was kind of trying to figure out if I wanted to get my master's in social work. So this seemed like a good fit for not necessarily a long-term commitment, but figuring out just what I wanted to do in the future. And then serving for a year was just something that I was drawn to. And it's a privilege to be able to serve.
Well, I've always enjoyed the service work that I did in college. I volunteered at a preschool, and then I went on a service trip, and I've always really enjoyed that. So doing a year of service sort of made sense to me, and also I'm interested in pursuing social work. So I didn't really want to get my master's right after undergrad because I wasn't 100% sure. So this working at a foster care agency is something I'd be interested in doing in the future, and we work with a lot of people with their MSWs, and I thought it was an experience that would really help me solidify my decision to go to grad school. So that's probably one of the main reasons I chose it as well, and I really like the community element.
Awesome.
Well, to be honest, my college graduation kind of snuck up on me. May came and I didn't have any plans yet on what I wanted to do after college, and for the most part I really just had an abstract idea of I wanted to help people, and I also wanted to grow more as a person and in my faith. So I started looking into different service groups, and I happened to hear about Mercy Volunteer Corps, and I applied, and here I am.
Awesome. And then what made you choose Mercy Volunteer Corps? What about Mercy Volunteer Corps drew you to applying and then accepting the position with us?
Well, like I said, I really love the community element. A lot of service programs not necessarily living in community, and I think that that's really important because to be able to sort of vent to people and kind of debrief about your day and about your experiences that you've had, I think is very important. I also really liked that it's a smaller program, so it's more individualized. So if we have any problems or anything, we can talk to anyone. We feel comfortable with that. We went to orientation with all of the other volunteers who are across the country, so it's kind of a great experience to get to know a lot of different people and learn about the work that they're doing. So I really liked that as well.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't really look into service groups until pretty late in the game. Most of the ones that I looked into actually had their application deadlines already passed. But luckily when well, that's not the only reason why I chose MVC. Now that sounds bad. But luckily when I found Mercy Volunteers and looked at their website and their cares and the 5 main sort of focuses that they have, and the fact that they have multiple sites pretty much close into each other, that also kind of enhances the community aspect to it. I really like that. And
Carrie's book.
And Carrie's book. So it's a long
That
story,
is a
but
long story.
long story short, I heard about the group from a book that a friend of mine gave me. And when I got accepted and placed in New York, I realized that the author is one of our support persons. So that was really a happy coincidence. And yeah, that was really cool.
Mercy in the City, right?
Right, Mercy in the City. Check it out.
I read it too. It was really good. Let's see. I found out about MVC through a friend from college, and I saw a picture on Instagram of her with people who she was serving in Pittsburgh last year, and I texted her and I asked her what she was doing and what it was about, really casually, and then I just checked out MVC online, and just things just started clicking. I found the New York site that just seemed to fit things that I was looking for in the next year, and then I kept finding out more and more about MVC, about the community aspect of it all, and about the Sisters of Mercy, and the values that Catherine McCauley stood for, and just everything that I kept learning about it just made me want to serve with MVC more.
Awesome. And then how's the year going so far? Any good stories? Anything to share with someone who might be a potential applicant, potential Mercy volunteer in your shoes next year?
Yes.
I feel like you two have a lot of stories.
Put you on the spot there.
Definitely yes. So.
I'll just come up with one.
Do you have something?
Not yet.
Well, let's see. It's been awesome being able to experience New York City because
sorry, got a little distracted.
Lost my chicken potatoes.
Curry.
We're live.
I know you're live.
I didn't hear you say.
Yeah, both is good. Thank you.
Unscripted things are happening.
It's a community meeting about what's for dinner, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
It's an organic
We-
development in
yeah.
this webinar.
We all take turns making dinner each night.
Yeah.
It's one part of our way of connecting as a community, so that we can have family dinners, which is always nice.
So it's been awesome being able to experience New York City as a community, because with so many millions of people here, it can be easy to feel lonely, and right now with being close to winter, we leave it and it's dark and we come home when it's dark, and so having the community here to support each other just has been a really good experience. And then also just at our work site, hearing the stories of the people that we're working with in the foster care agency, and just being able to be a part of their lives. Like, I'm helping the 12th graders research and apply to college, and that was definitely a privilege that I had, getting help from my parents with that, but they don't have the same privilege. So just getting to help them with that has been an awesome experience, and kind of like a way to pay back.
Well, as a community, we've done some fun things together. I never knew that there were beaches in New York City, but we found one, and that was two actually. Yes. And we went to Coney Island Beach and Rockaway Beach, and that was really fun because it was in our first couple weeks here, so we were still getting to know each other, but we were just playing around in the water, and there's actually a lot of waves. So big waves, yeah. So that was fun. It's only a bus ride away, so it's convenient. So I guess just kind of little moments like that are really have been really great. We also went and watched a Halloween parade a couple weeks ago, and we dressed up as pizza rats from that GIF. So
look up the GIF, and then you'll get the reference.
Yeah,
it's the most New York
yeah,
thing.
so that was fun. And then also, working in the youth development office has been very eye-opening, and hearing the kids' struggles, but also having some power to help them has been really great. And going to events with them and getting to know them has really been a great experience. I think that there's a lot of stereotypes like about foster care and about foster children, so being able to really get to know the kids has been really great. So it's been rewarding.
Definitely the beach thing, that also surprised me too. I think I've been to the beach here in New York more often than I went when I was in California, which was definitely not what I expected. And we've also done quite a few we've got a few free events. The Halloween parade was already mentioned.
2 movie premieres.
Yeah, we've gone to 2 movie premieres and a movie screening at Central Park. And we've also gone kayaking on the East River, which I think we expected would be half an hour, but we ended up like paddling around for 3 hours. So after that, we were just like covered in salt because it's just a branch of the Atlantic Ocean. So that was really fun. From my work site, the story that comes to mind was that when I was doing after school a few weeks ago, I asked my kids to try to, the 3 boys that I teach, to try to guess my age. And one of them started with 30. And when I told him no, he went up to 40, and then to 50, and then to 60. And of course, I was just like, no, you're going the wrong way. So I asked my youngest kid, Gisbert, if he can guess my age, and he was just like 10. And at that point, I gave up, and I was just laughing too hard. So yeah, there's just stories that you would not expect, like when you apply to Mercy Volunteers. It's just these sort of like how you interact with people, and it's really rewarding most of the time.
I went to a workshop an anti-racism workshop on Saturday at Joe's work site, and it was really awesome. Didn't expect it to be as awesome as it was.
Right.
It was a long trip to get there, but it was totally worth it. Run by the Sisters of Mercy, who are awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome. Yeah.
You'll be glad to hear that. You've all mentioned a bit about your service sites and a lot about community, exploring the city and doing things together. Can you make a comment about the spirituality component of being a part of Mercy Volunteer Corps? Either what's that look like for you, or how do you do that as a community?
Well, I think something that we learned pretty early, well, basically in orientation, right after we met each other, is that we were all in very different places in our spirituality. Even though like the Sisters of Mercy are Catholic, and they're based on Catholic things. Not all of us are Catholic, and we're all, like I said, we're all in different parts. So we kind of learned how to learn from each other's spirituality and really sort of grow from each other, because that's what happens when you have like a bunch of people from different backgrounds. You learn something new when someone starts talking about where they are and who they are and why they're here. So yeah, that's been really a great blessing, I think.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Just a few weeks ago, we all kind of shared our spiritual journeys, and I guess our life journeys are intertwined with that, and it just adds a deeper level to the community and to our friendship. So that was really awesome, and it's been cool just being able to ask each other questions about our faith and just like things that we believe and what words mean and things like that. So it's really cool to have just a safe place where we're allowed to, where we can openly talk about those kind of things and being able to discuss them just and have good conversation about it. So.
Yeah, we've been trying to do, we have been doing spirituality night every Wednesday night. And we do different activities each week. So one of them was like the spiritual autobiography. Sometimes if there's a speaker somewhere, we'll go and listen to them, different activities like that. We also wrote letters to the other communities in MVC. So we've done a lot of different activities. So just trying to take that time aside to really be with one another has been very important.
And tonight,
oh
it's
yeah,
just spirituality night.
Well, yeah, we're going to try to make it in time, but yeah, so we're going to be going to Theology on Tap to a pub
Across the street.
Right across the street. That's why it's called On Tap. And we're going to be learning about Pope Francis's encyclical from a few years ago, Joy of the Gospel. So yeah, that's what we're going to be up to tonight.
Nice. And then I just want to think, what would you say to a potential applicant, someone who's looking at either doing a year of service or looking at a whole bunch of opportunities? What would you say to, not to convince them, but to let them know about Mercy Volunteer? What would you say to them to have them join up with Mercy Volunteer for, as opposed to some other doing something else, whether that's a job or a grad school or a different program or something like that?
I definitely think this is a good year of just like learning about life and like being challenged by like the community that we live in has been really awesome, because we all come with different values and we can like share those with each other and challenge each other on those. And I don't feel like I'm making sense.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And
They'll get it.
I don't know, it's been awesome learning how to live in community, because it's more than we're just housemates. We like share money, which is challenging, but like really awesome lesson to learn. And the Sisters of Mercy are just great. And the other night, Nicole and I were at like a fundraiser banquet with them, and we sat at a table full of 12 sisters who were just
great.
talking to us the whole time and took selfies with us and all kinds of things like that.
Invited us to their house.
Yeah, invited us to their house, and we've gone out to lunch with a few of them. So the sisters definitely make it MVC a great thing to be a part of, because you're welcomed into their community. And I'll think of more as you talk.
Well, I think it was already mentioned earlier that MVC is a smaller program than most other service year groups, and I think that really made sort of like, for example, our orientation very intimate. The fact that there was only like 30, 32, 33 of us instead of like 70 or some bigger number. It's like we were only like together for orientation for 4 days maybe, but we became really quick friends with each other, and we were able to spend a lot of time together. And for example, now we have a nifty little Facebook group where we just like share everyone's adventures to each other. So even though like there'd be people in San Francisco, people in Baltimore, and even those in Guyana in South America, it still feels like we're able to keep in touch with each other and really be still in a solidarity in our year of service together.
I think it's for me, I don't think I'm ever gonna really have another chance to move to a new city and commit to a year of living in a community and working at a site like this. So for me, it was kind of like a once in a lifetime chance. So I think that's rather than like going and working right away, like I'm gonna be working for the rest of my life. So it's a nice like a break, a year where to do something kind of different. So for me, that was one of the big draws as well. I also really like that it's like a smaller program, like I said. So I think that there's a lot of different elements that I think make MVC special.
Yeah, definitely worth the year.
Yeah.
Even though we're only 3 months in.
Talk to us in 6 months.
We'll have a
sure
follow-up
it'll stay the
edition
same.
in July. Sounds like things are going well. Any last comments? Anything?
Apply.
Apply, and if you have any questions, I'm sure you can get our contact information.
Yes.
Call us and things
We'll
like
be
that.
more than happy to answer things
Come visit us in New York.
if you want.
We'll come back.
Yes, so apply. Some deadlines. January 15th is our priority deadline. So if you get your application in before January 15th or by January 15th, you have priority over placements, things like that. And our international deadline is March 1st. So if you're interested in Guyana, make sure it's in no later than March 1st. Other than that, any questions or anything, check out our website, mercyvolunteers.org. You can live chat us there, and if you have any questions, email us. Like I said, we can put you in contact with volunteers who are out there serving, and you can get the firsthand experience. And that's it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to the New York City volunteers, and yeah, apply.